welcome back to Subnautica with Bogatir. So to start off this 7th episode, I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of my base before we get to the meat of things. Alright? So we start off this look with my coral gardens, which I love to collect coral and raise it even if it doesn't have a whole lot of use. And now we're going to slide back to the fabrication room, which is something y'all have seen in pretty much every single episode and hasn't really changed a whole lot. Just lots and lots of storage for all the materials I might need, as well as a modification station and my fabricator, as well as these two little handy project bins that I can store whatever I need for my current project in. Alright, moving back towards the reactor room, and here's where I keep my nuclear reactor. Isn't she lovely? I also keep my seeds, coral, and eggs in here because where else would you keep them but around highly radioactive material? I've also got a backup aquarium with some of my excess fish that I keep around here, as well as a battery charger and a power cell charger. And it's an overkill for this base. I don't really need the nuclear reactor, but I mean, I love having a nuclear reactor, so I do. Alright, so now we're going to head on towards the front of the base and show you some of the new additions. Oh, there's a cat poster from the Aurora. Alright, moving on, we have kind of the wardroom / medical area, just random room. I got a fridge here with all kinds of water and food, the non-functioning and incredibly disappointing coffee machine. A couple of beds for guests, I suppose. My comm relay, signals, gear storage, medkit fabricator, and medkits. Just, all those little odds and ends that didn't fit anywhere else. Alright, moving on, we go over to the alien containment that I built last episode. And I still got all the little fishies swimming around. I haven't thrown in any other eggs or any other fish in here yet because I just haven't really had the time. But it's going along pretty well. I really like this room, and I still really like the alien containment. It's pretty cool to actually have some tame fish in the basin. Alright, moving on upstairs, we're going to move to the area over that wardroom, which is now my personal bedroom. Yep, there we go. There's my bed. Nice picture frame over it. Plenty of plants. And a lot of the bits and bobs from the Aurora that I collected. And just a fantastic view of the kelp forest, which is, I still love it. Haven't gotten tired of it in 2 playthroughs of this game. Alright, now we're going to head on down this hallway. And you might have noticed I really like windows on my base. I don't like the claustrophobic feel of being hemmed in. So I have windows here, taking a look out into my garden, which... yeah, I like collecting coral. Kind of a hobby, I guess you might say. A hobby within the hobby. And here's the observation dome. I built this and I didn't really show it off because I didn't honestly have much to say about it. It's a big glass sphere. You can take a look out to wherever you're at. But it makes for a nice observation point. And you can see down into the other rooms, which I always liked about this game. You can actually see right through the windows inside the building. There's my solar farm and even more coral. Alright, so back here we're going to head into my farm room, which, again, not much is different. It's in a different place, but I'm still growing mostly marble melons, Chinese potatoes, and lantern fruit. Although I have added some bulboa trees because they give you a lot of hydration. So, not that I particularly need it, but I have it. Moving along, we're heading back into my upper room that has my water filtration machine and that snack machine and some excess aquariums. To be perfectly honest, I don't really know what to do with this room. I have it, but, there's just not a whole lot of stuff left I need to put into it. So, that's that room. Moving on, you can see I have still more windows out to see the moon pool. Down there's the alien containment, and we're going to head back down to the bottom level. There's an airlock, and here is the moon pool. So that pretty much covers the entirety of the base. And, yep, still calling it the lag spike. Alright, so now let's head up to the surface and get to the meat of this episode. And we're going to start off by building the Prawn, or the Exo-Suit. And right here, the requirements, the only thing I didn't really show you are the aluminum oxide crystals, which you get from the Deep Grand Reef, which is right next door to the Sparse Reef. They're not uncommon, so you should be able to pick them up pretty quickly. Sorry, I probably should have showed collecting them, but the game has just been a nightmare right now with the lag and the random crashes. But there we go. Prawn gets into the water with that glorious thud when it lands. So, let's take a look at the prawn. A little bit stumpy legs, but you get to sit inside nice and dry. Got the 2 manipulator arms and a pair of jump jets. It's powered by 2 power cells, and it actually has some inbuilt storage. Unlike the Seamoth, hint, hint, Alright, sorry, the CMOS's lack of storage is a sore point. And here you have the upgrade modules. You can change out either the arms for various different contraptions, as well as the usual 4 upgrade slots. Now these arms can be traded out for grappling hooks, repulsor guns, drill arms, a whole lot of different things that you can put on
Welcome
your
aboard, Captain.
prawn suit to really customize it. Now, it's a very weird experience to first get the prawn because it kind of changes how you experience the game. I mean, normally when you're walking around, uh, most of this you're not worried about the cliffs. You can just swim up them. But in the prawn, you either got to walk up them or use your jump jets to get around. It turns what was a 3D game into a 2D game, and that might kind of sound like a bad thing, but it's really not. I mean, it's a fun new way to play the game, to suddenly have the terrain matter again for how you get around. And especially once you get something like the grappling hook, it really gets fun to move around with this thing. So I want to show you here, even what these basic manipulator arms can do. So there's a little bit of quartz, and boom, actuate the arm and pick that sucker up. And right here, you can access your inventory, and there it is. Uh, Especially since the prawn has the same issue with the Seamoth, that you can't access your inventory from inside it. That's a huge feature. So I'm going to head back down to the base, and we're below the moon pool. And I want to show you the last little thing here with the prawn. Using the jump jets, you can hop up to the moon pool, and it'll grab you and pull you in, just like in the Seamoth. And now that you're inside, you can access your upgrades, and you can also use the modification station. And just like on the Seamoth, you can rename it, you can recolor it. So, there we go. There is my newly recolored, newly renamed prawn suit. Now the summoner, which is the same hideous orange and purple coloration as my Seamoth. But there you go. That is the prawn suit. So let's head back up to the surface and get started on the Cyclops. Alright, so let's take a look at the Cyclops. And here we go. None of the requirements for the Cyclops are that exotic, so just like the prawn suit, it's not too hard to get built in the mid-game. And here we go. Just right here, you get a feel for just how huge this ship is compared to everything else you've built in the game. And it is just a titanic ship. But it really opens up and starts the second phase of the game. And here we go. Oh, look at that thing. That is glorious. Don't hit the base. Oh, all right. Okay, we're good. All right, we're good. Just look at it. Oh, that ship is beautiful. You know, it's the white and blue, pretty much everything else in Subnautica. But just look at it. Even compared to the base itself, it's just a huge vessel, and you can even see the interior from outside. So let's take this game's advice and board the Cyclops.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright, so here we are on the Cyclops' lower deck, and we're going to go up to the bridge. And there we go. Here is the control pedestal where you're going to control the Cyclops from. Now, this thing handles like a bus. It really handles the same way that you would expect something this big to handle. Left and right rotate the ship in place. Forward and back accelerate and decelerate the ship. And if you want to go up or down, you got to use the space bar or the C button. And just like the Seamoth, if you hold down the space bar, you can actually catch a little air in the ship and then lag out as you come back down. But, you know, that's the price you pay. Alright, so this icon over here on the left is actually your cameras, and this is a hugely useful bit. And this is your keel camera, and no, that's not a bug. Well, okay, actually, it is a bug. It's just a known bug where you can see through the walls of your base with the Cyclops, either view from the bow or through the cameras. But you can use this keel camera to take a look around directly below your submarine and make sure you're not going to run into anything. Here's the screw camera that you can actually see directly behind your ship, and I know I don't have any idea what this camera is attached to, but it's there. And then you have the conning tower, which is at the top of the ship, which right now is just above the water, kind of being a periscope action. And you can switch between them by using the mouse wheel. So that'll help you keep good track of what's going on around the Cyclops because the view from the front is not fantastic. Alright, so let's do something about that white and blue color scheme. If you take a look to the right of the control pedestal, you're going to find the same interface that you've got on the modification console back in the moon pool that'll let you mess with the ship's name and its colors. So that is definitely something you can have some fun with. And I did. Yes, I know, I'm incredibly creative naming it this, but same color scheme, and it is a nice little touch to be able to color your own ship so that you've got kind of a uniform naming convention going on, or coloring convention going on. So, you also inside you have this control panel that lets you turn the outside floodlights on or off. Yeah, there we go, floodlights off. And then you can turn the interior lights on or off. And this is kind of useful depending on the lighting conditions outside. You can blind yourself with the interior lights or with the spotlights at times. So especially when it's dark, sometimes it's good to shut the lights off to let you see things a little bit better. And moving back, you've got this kind of open area, which has nothing in it. Odd. And then moving farther back, here is, again, a little more open space, but you've also got your docking port. And yes, you can dock something with the Cyclops, just the same as the moon pool. You can dock your Seamoth or your Prawn. So moving farther back, we have the engine bay. And this sucker is powered by power cells, 6 of them. 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. And you can't really cross over the engine, but there they are. And here we have the modification, or the upgrade modules loop. So what we're going to do is we've picked up a power efficiency module, and we've found the pressure compensator plans. So we're going to throw these both in here. Now the ship gets a lot more efficient in its use of power cells, and it's now got a 900 meter crush depth, which is significantly deeper than even the Seamoth can do right now. So, yep, there's the ship shaft, which even when I'm not moving is spinning. All right, so now we're going to climb back down. We're on the lower deck, and we're heading forward. This is the door into the vehicle bay, where you can see the grappling arms above. Right now, they don't have the animations that they do inside the base for these bulkhead doors, but you can shut those up. And now we're in the forward area where you first enter the ship. And here along the walls, you've got some storage lockers. They're not particularly big. They're only 6 by 2, so you can only put 12 items in each of them. But they're here, and there's 5 of them, so you got 60 free storage on board the ship. Alright, I don't really know why they didn't continue it farther back or putting it on this side, but you know what, 60 free storage. But now I'm going to show you what all that open area is for, because on the interior of the Cyclops, you can build things just like if it was a base. So as you can see, I came back here in that open area. I built myself some storage lockers, so I've got myself quite a bit more extra storage in here. I've also got my battery chargers. No, I don't know why they're green. I've got a modification station. I've got a medkit fabricator. I've got my regular fabricator. Got a power cell charger, which isn't as broken as it used to be. And I've got, again, just more storage and even more storage. I've got some planters all over the place that I'm putting different things like marble melons in. I've got an aquarium full of Reginalds, and I've even got a grow bed back here with marble melons, Chinese potatoes, lantern fruit, and bulboa. Just make sure that I've got plenty of stuff to eat. And docked is the prawn suit. So this sucker right now is set up to go exploring. This is now a fully fledged mobile base that you can pretty much take anywhere and do anything you want to with it. How great is that? And one of the little details that you might not know when you first get your Cyclops is that it confers immunity to Reapers. So yes, now you can actually go and take a close-up look at Reapers, and with minimal danger. They can still knock you around a little bit, but they can't eat you. So go take a look, play with them, but be careful and maybe don't get out of the Cyclops, either in a prawn suit or a Seamoth, or if you're completely and totally suicidal, just with a Sea Glide. So that is going to more or less wrap up this how-to/let's play of Subnautica. I've taken you from the first moment you splash down to when you get both the Exo-Suit and the Cyclops built. At that point, the rest of the game is up to you. You can take your Cyclops and your Prawn, and you can go off exploring and take a look at the rest of this game. I have not gone to even half of the biomes, and I have specifically avoided some of the coolest and most interesting ones just because I didn't want to spoil it. the purpose of this was always just to be kind of a how-to, a bit of a tutorial. Admittedly, it's a 3 hour, 3.5 hour long tutorial, but a tutorial nonetheless. So I left some of the more interesting areas to find for you. And on top of that, there's an entire story going on in Subnautica that's being added with the updates that you can explore and find out for yourself as you go through the game. So with this tutorial coming to an end, I just want to take a minute to say that as far as early access games go, Subnautica is just a fantastic one. The developers are incredibly transparent. They've got the entire roadmap for this game laid out online for anybody to go take a look at and see. Right now, they're planning to release for general, your 1.0 release to come out of early access by the end of this year, this early next year. And so far, they've been keeping on track with it. They've been very steady with the content updates. They have their own experimental branch that they keep. I want to say it's every couple days, maybe twice a week that they're updating it. And it's just an example of a great early access game. And if you've watched this much of this Let's Play, go out and buy it. I really doubt that you're going to regret it. It's an excellent game that I cannot recommend enough. So, yeah, go out and get it. If you watch me prattle on for this long, you may as well give it your own shot. Even if you're not big on survival crafting games, which personally I am not. I 100% think that Subnautica is worth a buy and worth a playthrough because it's gorgeous, it's fun, it's really doing survival crafting right, and it's doing early access right. So I just want to give it my personal endorsement for whatever little that means. So I think that's going to wrap this up. I may be revisiting this save and coming back to Subnautica for a little more Let's Plays later on, maybe to take a look at some of those unexplored biomes and just show them off in whenever I feel like it kind of manner. But I think for now, that's going to do it. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been Bogatir playing Subnautica. See you guys next time.